Are we there? Are we live? Is it Memorex? Hey guys, how's everybody feeling out there today? Welcome everybody to the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I'm so very excited to see y'all's very specific smiling faces up in the place, to see Chuck Diesel here early telling people to like the show. God damn it. Smash that thumbs up. Sometimes we get haters popping up through here just to hit thumbs down and tell me I ain't shit and then be on a lovely Tucker Carlson way. But no, I need y'all to show some love, what you guys already do. What's up, Anna Hart? What's up, Pimp C, Courtney, the SLP? I see who's all up in here. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Toby? What's up, Nat A? Stoner Loner, what's going on? Where your black ass been? And Damien, I already know that you ain't black. It is a figure of speech. But anywho, I digress. Folks, it is a BIDWKB solo sesh day. So I'm going to give everybody an ample opportunity to please go get your drug of choice. Hopefully it is of the non-narcotic brands. I don't want y'all out here with them Sackler family problems. And I don't mean actual Sackler family problems. I mean the products that the Sackler family has endorsed and sells to the country, but that's another story. So anyway, everybody get your weed and stuff together. I'll give y'all an opportunity. I see the flame emojis. So we got in here. What we got in here? A little bit of everybody. I love to see it. What's up, Radical Leftist Virginia? Thank you so much. And Black Magic, thank you so much, darling, for the Cash App love off the brizzle. off the break, y'all. We ain't even gone live. Black Magic broke us off. It is payday, but just Friday. Pay up. I'm just kidding. You guys do enough just by showing up. And of course, you being present, being subscribers, liking the program, that is more than enough to warm my very ice cold heart. But if you want to support us materially, the opportunity is absolutely there for you to do so. For Cash App, it is $BIDWKB. We're also on Venmo at BIDWKB. And for our patrons, we got a couple new patrons. What's up, Renee? Renee Johnson, new patron. Nikki, new patron. Thank you guys so much. Patreon.com/BIDWKB. And as a quick reminder for all of our wonderful supportive patrons, we have the June Ask Me Anything happening immediately after this broadcast. Well, relatively soon after this broadcast, within 10-ish minutes, let's say that, after this broadcast, because I got to get something to drink and let the dogs out. And then I'll be ready to come back. And because we usually have a good time actually on the AMAs. I actually enjoy those very much. Y'all are a very supportive and funny and entertaining brand. And see, this is what I'm saying. Tunde's supposed to pop in and tell me that my bra is showing, but Tunde's a man, so these things don't occur to Tunde. So, pardon my brassiere straps. I will try to conceal them better. Anywho, and yes, and guys. So coming up on today's show, let me start to break down my weed. I really like today's topics. So I don't know how many of y'all uncles and aunties are on the TikTok. You guys, of course, heard of TikTok, right? If you haven't, I know your children have made sure you are aware of TikTok. So TikTok is experiencing a sort of a Black Twitter moment, or maybe I might have this wrong. Maybe y'all cool kids can hit your auntie to the particulars and the dynamics of racial TikTok. But very much like Black Twitter is the pulse and the cool kid section of Twitter as an app. Black TikTokers, especially the choreographers, the people who are making the dances, the main reason people go to TikTok, or one of the main reasons people go to TikTok, Black TikTokers have said that they are tired of these white kids biting their style and then getting all the endorsement deals, all the major media appearances, think that TikTok dancer or person who was on Jimmy Fallon, and everybody was like, no, wait a motherfucking second. Addison, all of those dances you have done there, Addison, at least I think her name was Addison, have been originated by Black creators that you are not crediting. So Black TikTokers are on a creative strike, which I find fascinating. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the program. Also, today happens to be the 19th birthday of Tamir Rice. We all know Tamir Rice, who was killed at the age of 12 by police in Ohio, I believe in the Cleveland area or right outside of Cleveland, where Tamir Rice was outside playing with a toy gun, a BB gun, which he was in his full rights to do. Ohio's an open carry state. Someone called the police on him for minding his motherfucking business, and the cops pretty much shot Tamir within seconds upon encountering him. Didn't even give Tamir a chance to respond, to put down the BB gun, anything. They just murdered this 12-year-old. So today, Tamir would have been 19. And over on Black Power Media earlier today, I'm not sure if you had the opportunity to check it out, but it was a really great interview with Tamir's mother, Samaria Rice. She spoke with Jared Ball and Kalonji Changa. I have a clip of that, but I definitely encourage you to go back over to Black Power Media and look at the whole interview with Samaria Rice. She talks about these activists like Shaun King. These people got her name in their mouth trying to make accusations about her when all she's trying to do is uplift the memory of her son. And she's being maligned. She's being smeared by people with really big platforms. And it's really shitty. And we are really going to talk about it. So stick around for that. And also, we're going to discuss this amazing victory, ladies and gentlemen. And have y'all seen India Walton poised to be the next mayor of Buffalo, New York? But hold on. India's Black. But hold on. India's a woman. But hold on. India's a socialist. And she beat the shit out of the Democratic establishment candidate. The four term incumbent. This is not a little deal, people. This is a BFD. So yes, we're going to talk about India Walton out of Buffalo, New York. Big things popping up in upstate NY. Y'all know what it is. What's up, New York? Empire State. New York is way more than just NYC. Y'all didn't know how many knuckles was in Baltimore and what's the name? Buffalo. I'm about to say Baltimore. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I ain't even smoked yet. Should I start to break down my weed? No. I'm going to break down my weed momentarily because we are going to begin this here program with the news. I'm sure you all heard it. It just broke in the past hour and some change. But the killer of George Floyd, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, has been sentenced to 22 and a half years in the Bing, baby. And I was watching the sentencing hearing. Obviously, you know, I'm sitting here trying to like brush my teeth and shit and watch a joint because I know clearly we have the program to execute. But it was kind of wild to hear Derek Chauvin's attorney say that this nigga should get time served in probation. I said, woo, that is quite the audacious ask there, sir. Time served. But the fact that the lawyer felt so sort of emboldened, I would say, to ask for that lenient of a sentence got me a little worried. I said, wait a second, if the lawyer even thinks it is a chance that Derek Chauvin might get time served, Derek Chauvin might get time served because, ladies and gentlemen, and theys, let us not forget that it is somewhat of a recent development that white people are punished for murdering black people. You understand? Like, for most of America's existence, it has been quite legal for white people to murder black people without punishment, without consequence, without a trial, a lot of times without even being arrested, without even being questioned, right? So this still is somewhat of a newish experience. And I can't even call it formally an experience because this is not the norm. Most police officers, white or non-black or whatever, generally don't get charged, nor do they get convicted for murdering black folks. The only one that comes up to my mind, I'm not sure how old Derek Chauvin is, Reese Mack. He's relatively young. I think he's under 40. Jean-Pierre, would you mind? Can we Google Derek Chauvin's age? I don't know if he's going to do them whole 22 and a half years, but that's another story. But I wanted to say, and I already forgot. God damn it. I'm very sorry about that. But what I was saying was it's not been illegal for white people, especially for police officers, to kill black people. And the only one recent-ish conviction that comes to mind is the cop in South Carolina who killed Walter Scott. Walter Scott was the black man who got pulled over by police in South Carolina, or was it North Charleston? In Charleston, North Charleston area, yes. Got pulled over, something minor, traffic infraction, found out he had like a warrant or some bullshit for child support, and he took off running, and the cop just shot him right in the back, threw his taser on top of him because he already had his story. The motherfucker was concocting his story on the spot, right? Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody this nigga tried to steal my taser and tase me. Yep, and throw the taser right next to his hand. Sprinkle some crack. Let's keep this shit fucking moving. Nope. Thankfully, there was a bystander who recorded the whole incident. That motherfucker is in jail today. I'm also thinking of who is the cop in Oklahoma City area? The one who was raping all the black women. I don't think he actually killed anybody, but they did send him to jail. And that bama cried in the courtroom, wept openly. But anyway, we actually have a clip from the judge when the judge imposed this sentence. And let me just say, like, the judge said, well, let me not say that. Y'all can hear what the judge said. For actually, let's take a listen at what the judge said, and then I'll come back and Is he 45? He took care of himself. Yeah, he was yeah. Yes. Anyway, let's take a look at that clip, shall we, Tunde, of the judge who oversaw the Derek Chauvin trial of Derek Chauvin's murder of George Floyd. Today, handed down sentence in the Hennepin County Courthouse. And this is what the judge had to say.
Mr. Chauvin, as to count one, based on the verdict of the jury, finding you guilty of unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony under Minnesota Statute 609.19 subdivision 2, paren 1, it is the judgment of the court that you now stand convicted of that offense. Pursuant to Minnesota Statute section 609.04, counts 2 and 3 will remain unadjudicated as they are lesser offenses of count 1. As sentenced for count 1, the court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months. That's 270. That is a 10-year addition to the presumptive sentence of 150 months. This is based on your abuse of a position of trust and authority, and also the particular cruelty shown to George Floyd. You are granted credit for 199 days already served. Pay the mandatory surcharge of $78 to be paid from prison wages. You're prohibited from possessing firearms, ammunition, or explosives for the remainder of your life. Provide a DNA sample as required by law. Register as a predatory offender as required by law. And then you will receive a copy of the order and also the attached memorandum explaining the court's analysis. Anything further from the state?
If this needs to be said, we just ask that it be executed forthwith.
Defendant is remanded to the custody of the sheriff to be transported back to the DOC or whichever custody is currently holding him. Anything from the defense? All right. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Yep, the judge said, take his ass back on to jail. The judge had the option to sentence him to a lighter term, but according to the legal experts, this sentence imposed by the judge is, 10 years over what the normal sentence is for the charges Derek Chauvin was convicted of. I think he was, anyway, I was listening to it and they were like, all right, so we're going to hit you with this top count. The other two counts remain unadjudicated, but we're just going to roll them joints in. 22.5 years. I wonder how much of that he'll actually do. And I wonder also what the Fed's position is going to be on this, because if memory serves, Derek Chauvin is facing some federal charges, right? All the members is facing federal charges. They hit all of them with the Fed charges. So Chauvin hopefully will be in jail for a good long time. But let us not get too jubilant in our rejoicing. It's good that justice was served in this instance, but we know that this is not the norm, right? And unfortunately, the okie doke that is going to be tried to be pulled on us is that there was justice for George Floyd's family. They got justice. Yeah. You know who didn't get justice? Samaria Rice for the murder of Tamir Rice. And the list really goes on and on of the amount of unarmed Black people, men, women, and children, whose cop killers never see the inside of a courtroom. They get paid vacation. And I know some of you actually are here because I mentioned on the Remix Morning Show Thursday that I was going to talk about Korryn Gaines today. I'm going to talk about Korryn Gaines on Tuesday because there's an action plan in Baltimore County on June 30th surrounding Korryn Gaines' case. As you may or may not remember, Korryn Gaines was the Black woman in Baltimore County who had been experiencing police harassment, and she was very vocal in her dissatisfaction, let's put it mildly, with police and the way that they handle her and her community. And she was shot and killed by police. Her child was also shot. Her child did survive. But a wrongful death lawsuit was filed against Baltimore County Police. A jury awarded Korryn's family and her estate a very large sum of money, and Baltimore County hasn't paid at all. And the cop that actually killed Korryn Gaines not only still on the force, but got a promotion. So we're going to talk about that action that's happening surrounding Korryn Gaines' case on Tuesday. Really quick, Toby Swole, thank you so much. Toby, we got your drawings too, honey. They are really interesting. He said, about time we #slap the privilege out of fuckers. Take this further. Yes, Derek Chauvin, to his credit, yo, Derek Chauvin keeps the poker face, right? Like Derek Chauvin, I mean, he indicates a little bit in his eyes, but his face don't really move. So good for him, I guess. Anyway, Charles, I saw you also in the chat about the Oklahoma City cop who had been convicted for all those rapes, Daniel Holtzclaw. Thank you very much for that reminder of that piece of shit. So guys, I don't know. Like I think I generally have mixed feelings about this because, for example, had the judge hit Chauvin with some bullshit. I mean, when I say hit Chauvin with some bullshit, hit us with some bullshit regarding Derek Chauvin's sentence. Had he said something like 2 years or 5 years, or God forbid, time served, what the defense was asking for, man, oh man, it would have been there were a lot of shit going up in flames, more than likely in Minneapolis tonight, in the Twin Cities tonight. Minneapolis is already on edge surrounding the murder of Winston Smith and then subsequently Dion Marie, which we have spoken about on this show. And Minneapolis did not need a lenient sentence for Derek Chauvin today. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, even though the judge said that he was not considering public sentiment or emotion, bullshit, bro. The bullshit. You know what the tensions are like right now in your city, and Derek Chauvin had to be held with some accountability type of time. In 22 years, I think there's accountability type of time. Now, I've shared with y'all, maybe just the Patreoners. No, I think I've said this before. You all know that. What year are we in? 2021. I think it was 2017. The years sort of go by just all together. But anyway, my brother was murdered in Hawaii and his killer got 10 years. 10 years mandatory. Now, if he fuck up, if the boy fuck around in that Hawaii penitentiary, he's probably going to do some more time, but he's at least doing 10 years. And some members of the family were not satisfied with that. Now, the circumstances obviously were quite different. The boy who murdered my brother was a teenager. So I did not necessarily support the kid getting a shit ton of time because fuck, he is 16. Like, I said he did something wrong, but he's still fucking 16. Derek Chauvin, on the other hand, was a grown ass man wearing a badge, fully trained, armed to the teeth. He should have known better. So what I said that to say, I don't think 10 years was an inappropriate sentence for the teenage killer of my brother, but I think 22 years actually is a very appropriate sentence for Derek Chauvin. And I don't think, oh, you guys are so kind. I don't think that Derek Chauvin's going to do them whole 22 years, though, man. I don't know what them 22 years in protective custody is going to look like for Derek Chauvin. So anyway, we are happy with the verdict, or rather with the outcome regarding the sentence. Yeah, but are we expecting the killers of the young man in Elizabeth City to be held accountable? It's already been let us known early that is not forthcoming. Same thing with the young sister also in Ohio, Ma'Khia Bryant. Likely no charges coming for her killer cop. And tragically, you guys, it remains the same scenario for Tamir Rice, whose birthday is today, June 25th, right? And Tamir, who was 12 when he was murdered by the police, would have been 19 today. And that sort of blows my mind when I think about it. Like, it's hard to believe that it's been 7 years since Tamir Rice. And of course, it came during a flurry of police involved killings and extrajudicial killings, including, Trayvon Martin, John Crawford in Ohio, Eric Garner happened around that same time. I mean, it was all very hectic. And Tamir's mother, Samaria, has been very steadfast in her commitment to upholding the memory of her son. And she created the Tamir Rice Foundation. She is in the process of building a community center. And she has been under fire by bougie niggas. I don't know how else to say it. because it's more than just like the celebrity activist class, or maybe it's exclusively the celebrity activist class. What do y'all think? But anyway, she has called out people like Shaun King and Tamika Mallory and Black Lives Matter, the global edition of Black Lives Matter, you know, headed up by Patrisse Cullors and others. And she has not been holding her tongue about that shit, right? And I respect her for that, actually, because a lot of money is being raised off the memories of these dead Black folks, these murdered Black folks, without the money being redistributed to local grassroots organizations or even to the families directly themselves. And Samaria, if we could, Tunde, can we pop up, I think it's her Facebook post? I'm gonna pop up Samaria's Facebook post and tell y'all what Samaria had to say, because she planned an action today. Obviously, like I said, Tamir's birthday, but she knew that Derek Chauvin was also being sentenced today. So, you know, her timing was deliberate, planning this action for Tamir, but having it on Derek Chauvin's sentencing day. If we could take it full screen today. So what Samaria Rice said, she said, if it's anything I ask for is for folks to show up. She, like I said, show up today outside of the courthouse, I believe, in Cleveland. You should want to support this event when a baby is lynched in the most horrific way. Derek Chauvin is being sentenced on my son's birthday. This is how I will respond. For all the folks I call no answer, just know God is in control. Justice for Tamir Rice. My son is no hustle. Also, she gives her Cash App, $ Samaria Rice, to cover what is needed, period. Right? Period. I get that, Samaria. Ain't no, you ain't got to justify that, sis. So again, that was happening 4:00 this afternoon at the public square. So if you're in the Ohio area in proximity to where Samaria Rice is, show up at the public square at the Department of Justice. She is having an action today in her son's memory, Tamir Rice, who would have been 19 years old today. Well, Samaria has been making some of the rounds on the media and speaking to some folks about why she has been calling out some of these celebrity activists, namely Shaun King. Now, I know, see, guys, okay. I'm only mentioning Shaun King in relation to Samaria Rice. I am not interested at all in personality conflicts generally, right? Like all that bullshit around that some nigga named Jimmy Dore, like I could not understand why that was happening, because I'm like, who is this nigga? A comedian? A white man? And y'all are mad? Why? Just ignore that motherfucker. Anyway, I mean, that's just what I do. But this is different. This is not quite that, because Shaun King keeps bringing up Samaria Rice, like, and I believe another mother of another Black person slain out in Los Angeles. And I think the mother's name is Lisa. I can't recall her child's name who was killed. But anyway, like Shaun King had put something up on Instagram, like a picture of him when he was young, and saying this is the same little Black boy who blah, 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 blah. And Samaria said, nigga, you ain't even Black. Now, I don't know if Shaun King is Black or not. And I did not even used to question it. And I apologize for even taking this tangent, but I have to say this because it's annoying, right? I have translucent cousins. I have very light-skinned people I'm related to. Like, you can see through these niggas. Like, I'm not even kidding. So the fact that Shaun King is extremely light, does even white skin or white passing does not necessarily exclude him to me from being Black. Because again, I'm related to see-through niggas, right? Clear niggas. I got it. But the fact that he hasn't told everybody who keeps saying that he's not Black to fuck all the way off, that's what makes me think he might be white. Because I assure you, if niggas kept coming for my Blackness, I'm not about to sit here and explain my Blackness to y'all over and over again, year after year. I'm going to say it one time, and if y'all don't accept it, I'm going to tell you to suck my dick. And I'm gonna keep it fucking pushing. And I promise you, like, it is a closed matter henceforth. But Shaun King seems to be revisiting the issue of his blackness in weird ways, right? In weird ways, like in ways that I think that a straight up black person would not. So maybe he is Rachel Dolezal, us all. I don't give a fuck. But I do give a fuck about the very valid critiques that Samaria Rice and others have levied against Shaun King and others. And Samaria Rice today appeared on Black Power Media. She spoke with Dr. Jared Ball and Kalonji Changa for I Mix What I Like as part of the Friday edition, I guess, of the Remix Morning Show. And this is a clip, but I want y'all to go back and look at Samaria's interview because Samaria's a real one. She ain't had no cut cards about any of them. She said what she said. Tunde, if we could please take a look at that clip. Please hold on. Before you play it, let me set it up. So she is answering about being in contact with Shaun King because she said that when Tamir was murdered initially, she received a check from Shaun King to the amount of $60,000, and she did not know who he was. She didn't know where the money came from, but she accepted it, etc. And she's about to be describing when she was asked to be on a phone call with Shaun King, and that's where the clip picks up. So Tunde, if we could check that out, please.
And they wanted to put Shaun King on the phone as well and asked me, was I willing to get on the call? At this point, I'm like, yeah, because I've been trying to reach out to him for 5 years. And I haven't had a chance to talk to him, period, as he continued to say my son's name in the media. You have not contacted me, direct. So we had that conversation, and it was just a conversation. I never agreed to anything. He got on there and basically said he would never do this and he would never do that. And he had worked with many families and helped many families, over 100,000. And he said that he prayed for me and his family and stuff like that. At that point, it just sounded like a cop and donut conversation. And then he proceeded to say he raised an additional $60,000 and then another $30,000. I told him I was not aware of it. I have not received not one penny of it. And he also said that he wanted to try to build up trust and build trust and to see how they can help going forward. And that was it. That was just a conversation. I never agreed to anything. So I don't know why he felt that he had to go out and broadcast that we had a conversation. What was a conversation that I had been asking you for 5 years and you decided to want to talk to me 6 days ago? So again, I just don't, and he never got my permission to put none of the conversation out, anything. He just did it on his own. We didn't know he was doing, he just did it. So at that point, again, Shaun King cannot be in my eyes. As you say, you trying to build a relationship and trust, and you turn around and do all of this for clout, but you didn't make sure it was okay, and doing all of this during my son's birthday.
Doing all this, starting mess, causing drama the week of Tamir's birthday, and going to start some mess with his mother or continue some mess with his mother in an antagonistic way. Please go over to Black Power Media. You got, not now, goddammit, but once the show is over, go over to Black Power Media and watch the interview. It is a very compelling interview with Samaria that Kalonji and Jared did. And I appreciate her joining them, and I appreciate them having her on because, y'all, the fact, I want you to pay close attention to the people that are trying to drag Samaria Rice. Like, pay close attention. Because they are the fucking feds. I mean it. I don't care if they're your favorite CNN pundit. I don't care who it is. If they are out here dragging the mothers of murdered Black people, murdered by the state, they are, in fact, the fucking feds. Okay? Hold on. What's up, Derek Fuller? Thank you so much for your support. Alicia, thank you very much for your support. It is so appreciated. And Derek, I'm glad you got a kick out of translucent cousins because I got, like I said, I got some see-through relatives. But no, Shaun King and the rest of them, the Jack and Jill Brigade, and y'all know who I'm talking about. When I say the Jack and Jill Brigade, you know exactly who I'm talking about. If you see them dragging or say something odd about Samaria Rice, like I think, what is that bougie name? I can't call her name off the top of my head, but some head ass put up, just food for thought. Like, why is Samaria Rice out of the blue, coming for Shaun King? What you mean out of the blue? Like, if you pay attention to what Black women had to say, if you pay attention to what people like Samaria Rice had to say, you would hear her just say she's been trying to catch up with Shaun King for 5 years, right? If I'm trying to catch up with somebody for 5 years and they just don't get back with me, well, you kind of get what you get in terms of what I got to say about you, right? And that's exactly what this is. But the issue is that Shaun King keeps repeating Tamir's name and perhaps using Tamir's name in a way to promote whatever it is that he has going on, his latest organization or his latest publication or whatever sort of fundraising endeavor that he's engaged in. And activists and the families of victims have raised very righteous questions. People who have formerly worked with Shaun King have produced very, interesting receipts and questions about how the money is distributed that Shaun King has raised. And again, this is not particular to Shaun King at all, but a cornucopia of folks can be included in this who call themselves, movement leaders. And it's important that we listen to people like Samaria Rice. We cannot out of pocket dismiss them. And see, I don't think anybody that watches this show would dismiss Samaria Rice, right? Like, the reason why Samaria Rice is getting dismissed is because she's not one of the bougies. You understand? Like, she is not vying for an invitation to speak at the Congressional Black Caucus as a mother of the movement. Like, she's not positioning herself that way. Like, and again, and I don't knock how other parents have responded to these tragedies. Like, it's almost impossible to judge them. Even the ones who have had political ambitions and who have been nakedly, aligned with some establishment Democrats, even some, Democratic billionaire donors. I'm not going to name names, but, if you pay attention to these things, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm not trying to like shit on this person, this parent of a slain child, because you deal with it how you deal with it. But Samaria specifically, it ain't scared out here, and I respect that big time. And you, who said it? Courtney? It was Amanda Seals. That was Amanda Seals who said that. Oh, right, that was Amanda Seals who said that. I did see that on Instagram. That is exactly who was it attributed to. Listen, man, guys, can you imagine? Like, I'm trying to think of like an analogy that everybody would be like, oh no. I mean, because I think all of us here can see, like, why would a celebrity personality call out the mother of a slain child? Like, what the fuck would you do that? Like, Shaun King is like, openly asked, whether or not Samaria Rice is experiencing. He said, she's like lashing out and she's in all this anguish. And it's like, dog, don't project that shit on her. Like, you don't know her. You've not conversed with her in any meaningful way. You absolutely are not apprised of her healthcare, right? So don't just go out here just willy-nilly ascribing shit to her. You don't know her like that. Anyway, Samaria Rice, y'all, Black Power Media, it's there. You look at that shit later. You go pull up another window and you hit watch later. Y'all are with me now. This is our time. You feel me? This is our time. Y'all feel me? Okay, but y'all got to watch that shit because that shit was great. That shit was great. Speaking of great shit, wait a minute. Are we all in unison? Okay, sopranos first. And then I want the altos to come in, followed by the tenors. Okay, so y'all, everybody, is my shit even lighting? Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a solo such day. We don't have company. And you know what? Certain companies wouldn't even care. You think Richie Sajeko and Chuck Modiato give a fuck if I spark a J with them on the show? I doubt it. And I appreciate that. Actually, Jean-Pierre, let's make a note of that. More guests that we can smoke with. Yes, maybe that should be a question that we ask, excuse me, that we ask our guests. Would you like to smoke? Toby, Richie's a cutie, ain't he? I don't blame you. Back to the good news. Some great news, guys. So, it's election time in some places around the country. And in a lot of Democratic strongholds, whoever wins the primary wins the whole shebang, right? Such is the case in Buffalo, New York. Y'all know Buffalo. Buffalo, little town, next to one of them Great Lakes. Is Buffalo on the other side of Lake Ontario? And Toronto is on the, I guess, western side of Lake Ontario, but Buffalo's on the eastern side. I've been through Buffalo a couple times because I caught the bus from Buffalo to Toronto. I didn't have no problems with Buffalo. That I can recall. Anyway, Buffalo was in the middle of a mayoral election because their four-term incumbent mayor, Byron Brown, black dude, a Cuomo chromie, apparently, very highly respected in the New York Democratic Party establishment, the New York State Democratic Party establishment. I even think he held a VP-ship, if I'm not mistaken. Javia, would you mind Googling that for me just so I'm not completely crazy? I'm pretty sure. Thank you dearly. I'm pretty sure like he was a somebody in the New York State Democratic Party leadership, maybe the vice president of it. Anyway, he got trolloped. I think that's a fair assessment because they even called the race even before the polls was closed and shit. Even despite the fact that there's still absentee ballots to be counted, you guys. I need y'all to kindly give it up for Madam Mayor, your future Madam Mayor of Buffalo, New York, India Walton, ladies, gentlemen, and theys. India Walton is a bad broad. India Walton ran a campaign such that she really did something that was completely unexpected. Nobody expected her to win this race. And she did. And I wanted to take some scenes around her victory on Tuesday night is when all of this was started to break. And people were like, who is this lady? And I was also like, who is this lady? But I was very buoyed by her campaign speech. Okay, this is some good weed because now I'm starting to space out. And my computer is being uncooperative, but now it has resumed cooperation. Yes. All righty. So, okay, wait. Where I'm going is for the top. Bear with me, people. I'm so sorry. This is why we do this shit live. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I don't want to pre-tape my show. I like the live element. How it goes, it fucking goes. You feel me? So if we get smacked the shit during the show, well, then we just have to proceed with the show, smack the shit. There's no other option. It's either go or don't go, right? So here we are. So guys, I want you guys to take a look at this clip of Miss India Walton. This is going to be at her campaign victory party. Thank you very much. Tuni, I'm looking for A2, bro, if we could. And just take a listen, a small sampling of what she had to say, because I'm impressed, and I try not to be impressed by politicians, but I think the fact that she ran as a socialist against an establishment Democrat and won during crazy shit happening is quite remarkable. Tuni, if we could take a look at that, please.
We set out to not only change Buffalo, but to change the way progressive politics are viewed in upstate New York.
Let's go!
This is Buffalo, and it's not lost on me that we have a very entrenched Democratic Party that has no interest in our type of politics. So from the very beginning, last year, when I brought my island of misfit toys together, we were well aware that we were going to have to do things non-traditionally, outside of the system, in the middle of a pandemic. This is organizing. We win!
India. Guys, I want you to take a look really quick at this clip of India when she's, the mayor-elect, India Walton of Buffalo, New York, when she is asked by a reporter whether or not she is or is not a socialist. This is a shot by Aaron Besecker, I believe, of the Buffalo News. Tunde, can we take a look at A3, please?
Yourself a socialist?
Oh, absolutely. The entire intent of this campaign is to draw down power and resources to the ground level and to the hands of the people. And when we think about socialism, we're perfectly fine with socialism for the rich. We will bail out Wall Street and banks and give $1 billion in tax incentives to one of the richest people in the world to build an empty Tesla factory in South Buffalo. And when it comes to providing the resources that working families need to thrive, socialism becomes scary at that point. So I'm very proud to be a democratic socialist. I am proud to have the support of Buffalo DSA and National DSA. I received a call from Congresswoman AOC this evening. And I'm just excited to be a part of this movement that is ushering progressive politics into Buffalo. Being the third poorest mid-sized city in this country, we should be considering how we begin to eradicate concentrated poverty and disadvantage. And democratic socialist leanings are a big step in getting us there.
Incredible. Now, guys, let me give you a little bit of perspective of what Mayor-elect Walton was facing during this campaign. So like I said, like you are hearing, right? Now, I mean, you heard her message. So I don't know how that would fly in a city you live in. But I'm so happy that it was flying very high, apparently, in Buffalo, New York, because like I said, the 4-term incumbent, Mayor Brown didn't even want to show up to debate. He refused to debate India and the other Black woman who was in the race. So do with that what you will. Let me show y'all this package. Oh, I'm debating because it's relevant, but I don't know. Do I want to spend 2 minutes on it? I'm not sure. Because they're basically about to tell you what I just told you. But I kind of need y'all to see sort of the ridiculosity of the situation. Like, wait a second, like how you just refuse to show up and debate. Now, I know it happens often, right? Like a lot of politicians just won't. They just nowadays. I mean, there used to be a time where that was not allowed to fly. Now there's so much stuff that is absolutely allowed to fly that anyway, but it's all bad. But yeah, let's take a look at that. Actually, I think it's the A4, and that is from television station WKPW TV out of Buffalo, NY. Let's take a look at that.
The first chance to see a debate between candidates in the race for Buffalo mayor came and went without the incumbent. Mayor Brown is running for a 5th term in City Hall. He faces a primary challenge from LaCandace Durham and India Walton. There are no other candidates in any other party, so the winner of the primary is essentially assured to win. Jeff Rusak reports on tonight's mayoral debate where the mayor did not show up.
Thursday night, we got some insight on who may be the next mayor of the city of Buffalo. 2 of the 3 candidates participated in the League of Women Voters Democratic Primary Forum. Absent was current Mayor Byron Brown. Due to technical difficulties, the Zoom forum was kept short, but the 2 candidates did share their opinions on how to make Buffalo safer from gun violence.
I want to be able to provide those resources such as jobs, school and education.
India Walton looks to mirror programs in Stockton, California.
People who are involved in gun violence are identified. They are paired with mentorship. They are given a life map. And as they reach milestones, they're giving financial incentives. And that has reduced gun violence in Stockton, California by almost 30%.
When it comes to poverty in the city, both say a good place to start is having people who work for the city live in the city.
Folks who are not invested in the Buffalo community, they come and they get their checks and they drive it out to the suburbs at the end of the day.
If we start turning a lot of these vacant lots into some affordable homes, we'll be able to push and bring city employees back into the city of Buffalo.
Mayor Brown's campaign released this statement explaining his absence from the forum. Mayor Brown has always been forthcoming and transparent on where he stands on every issue, ensuring that the public can fairly and objectively decide for themselves who best represents all of the members of our community. Jeff Rusak, 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, this race comes at a time when a large percentage of people in Buffalo are struggling compared to the rest of the nation. A study of 2019 census data show a poverty rate of almost 29%. That is 18th highest in the country, 5th highest for cities of more than 100,000 people. Child poverty at more than 43%.
Child poverty more than 43% in Buffalo. So India Walton with a progressive socialist agenda is, I believe, going to have an opportunity to show everybody that, guess what? Something better can be done, because the system that we are currently in is failing us all. Like, there was a lawsuit filed in Maryland, I believe, by the Unemployed Workers Union against Governor Larry Hogan because he's shutting off this $400 of federal unemployment insurance subsidy 2 months early. And the thing that I think that in addition to not paying attention or caring rather about the wages that people have right now or being offered, just not sustainable, especially compared to how much it costs for housing relative to the amount that food is going up. Have y'all noticed that y'all grocery bills are looking terrible? Awful lately. Like, what is this? What's happening? Gas, like, there's a lot of ways that people are being pinched and times are tight. And people are also very mindful, I think, more so protective of themselves and their families and their health in general, and not maybe wanting to just jump out here in this pandemic all willy-nilly, even if it comes to going back into work, right? And number one, if the pay is not right, forget about it, right? And like, people will just be like, no, as they are doing. But this whole workers are refusing to get back out there is a bit farcical, because part of the reason why you're not seeing the hiring at the rate that the people would hope that it would be is because, y'all, we lost probably north of 750,000 people. Like, the whole 600,000 people dead in America from COVID, I believe, is a gross undercounting. I think that number is probably closer to 1 million. 900,000 to 1 million would be my guess, right? Because a lot of people died in nursing homes and even in hospitals that this shit was COVID suspected, but it was funny style whether or not they were actually being classified as COVID deaths. So you've been following the work of the scientist Rebecca Jones, right? That's her name, I believe. So out of Florida, the one who was targeted by Ron DeSantis. Her estimations suspect in Florida, at least, that number is maybe doubly or more exponentially higher in terms of people dead from COVID. But they was playing funny style with how they was characterized and stuff. So anyway, hold on. Let me sober up for a second. Hold on here. So yes, all those things, the facts. And wait, I saw I saw Liu Kang earlier. Would you say Liu Kang? This shit made me giggle, and now I done forgot what it was. But you said something about the show must blow on. Yes, the show must blow on. And I'm wondering now whether or not this was a stronger indica than I perhaps gave it credit for. Because I'm feeling this one. Like I smoked AJ and I feel more than a J high. So this J must be quality to make my day on this Friday. See, I didn't actually rhyme anything. All I just said was different variations of day. All right, y'all, we're going to switch gears here to something that your kids are probably more well-versed in this than you, or maybe you are well-versed in this because you have kids, or perhaps it is I who am just not versed at all in TikTok, right? All right, so I get TikTok. I understand what it is. It makes sense if you are 12, but I also understand that there's a lot of good information otherwise, despite, the dancing shit that gets spread on TikTok. TikTok, there's like health TikTok and like nurse TikTok, right? There's different TikTok factions. Okay, I get it. Okay, but TikTok is generally used by the youths to dance and shake their butts, right? Fine, excellent, have fun. So, as in a lot of these social media sites, I'm thinking Twitter specifically, right? I mean, Black Twitter feeds Twitter. I mean, Jesus. And then thus Black Twitter feeds the other trends that get talked about either on the local news or the entertainment shows. Like it generates a lot of content and a lot of ideas for stuff, right? So TikTok is the same in the sense that the Black dancers, Black choreographers make up these dances that go viral, that get millions and millions of views, and are excluded from reaping the endorsements or sponsorship or deals, reward side out of it. They get cut out of it from a monetary perspective, which is tragically part and parcel for Black people in entertainment in America, right? Like, just think about all the Black artists that have had everything taken from them and are left with very little at the end of the day. That's why this sort of odd, like, obsession, like, oh, Jay-Z and Kanye are billionaires. Hey, man, there's way better, greater, more impactful motherfuckers in Black music that Jay-Z and Kanye could show enough help out. And they ought to, right? I'm thinking about George Clinton, y'all. George Clinton's still out here touring. You know why? Because George Clinton ain't got no money. I think he gave away all them Parliament publishing rights. And anyway, it's a sad story. I digress. Same shit is happening to Black Tik Tokers, and it's beef, and it's a problem. So this is what I was able to discern. Mashable wrote up a little spot about it. So Megan Thee Stallion got a new summer hit, Thought Shit, right? Cool. I like Megan Thee Stallion. She does a thing. So Megan Thee Stallion got this new joint that is basically meant to be a dance. It's meant for people to do this dance, obey the instructions of the dance, and dance your little behind off on TikTok. But the Black TikTok dance creators are on strike. They have refused to create videos to go along with this new Megan Thee Stallion hit, That Shit, and they're on strike. And so the white dancers on TikTok now are seemingly unable to do this dance that Megan Thee Stallion very specifically calls out the instructions for. So Tunde, if we could take a look, y'all. All right. So the first thing I want us to look at are some white people making fun of the non-dancing white girls and non-instruction following, specifically white girls trying to do this dance to Megan Thee Stallion song. So Tunde, if we could please take a look at C2, and this is from TikTok creators Whip It Angel and EXO Sugar Bunny.
Let me hear. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh. Let me hear. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on. Let me hear. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh.
I don't ever want to hear another fucking white woman ever say that TikTok dances and TikTok trends aren't entirely stolen from black women, because a black woman has yet to give a dance to this song. And hear me out. Megan says, hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thought shit. And the white women said, the instructions are right there.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Chuck Diesel. Thank you for that support. Now, guys, right. Okay. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of hands on my knees, right? And I appreciate the perspectives of those young people right there. Now, I want us to check out one of the creators, or one of the people that dance, known for their dancing, right? So, and this TikTok user is the Eric Lewis, okay? And this young man, or this young person, so okay, hold on. Let me see if I can explain this, because again, I'm trying to tell it to y'all and aunties, and you guys probably understand it way better than me. So the black TikTok dancers have said, no, we're not doing a dance to this. But from what I understand, they are still, some of them still are doing dances to this Megan Thee Stallion song, but they're just not like tagging it with like her credit, I guess. So they're using their own audio, is how I understand it. So that way, but the white dancers aren't following that for some reason. So anyway, it's confusing. Maybe it's not confusing. Maybe it's just confusing to your stoner auntie. But let's take a look. Did I already thank you, Chuck Diesel? If I didn't, let me thank you again. Let's take a look at what the Eric Lewis did, right? In response, like this is the TikTok that he posted, or they posted, in reference to this strike by the black TikTok dancers. Let's take a look at that, Tunde, please.
I don't give a fuck who talk behind my back. The bitch knew better than to let me hear. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape.
Did you hear the thing? Like, didn't he talked after that? So after the white girls did the video, then he came back and he was like, it wasn't even a dance. I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. Are you sure? Anyway, so the young man, the Eric Lewis, the young person who, just was sort of going side to side, like refusing to dance. he came back after, like, you saw him do the middle finger thing, right? And then the white girls did the middle finger thing, like as if that was the dance. And he came back and he was like, no, he's like, that was actually not even dance. And then he basically called them a bunch of colonizers. So I want to say, like, I can appreciate the spirit of this strike, right? Because the deliberate exclusion, right, of Black folks from shit that they create or shit that they had previously owned and now no longer own, either have been co-opted or outright stolen. It is part and parcel for a lot of white wealth in America, okay? And I'm talking about just, even outside of all the wealth created off of slavery, the amount of shit that white folks just took. I mean, from material, tangible stuff to stuff sort of relatively specific to the entertainment industry in the form of, publishing rights of songs and, masters control of all that shit. Like, white folks own a lot of Black people things, and how they acquired it, you can deduce largely on your own, rightly or wrongly. However, the strike by the content creators is wonderful. And I'm not even sure what we can do to continue to support them besides get on TikTok and just follow them just cause, or even make demands of the same sort of companies that are rewarding the white folks with some of these lucrative contracts. I mean, like, no, all that has to come to a cease. You have a response. Yes, to Tunde has entered the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tunde.
If you want me to play.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have a response either?
I do not have an opinion on this matter, but I will play his response. So, here we go.
Wonderful. Oh, okay, guys. This is the Eric Lewis. So this is his response to when he did his original, fuck this shit. And then the white girls was like, that must be the dance. That must be the dance, and it was not the dance. So this is his response to that. Oh, it doesn't want to play because I can't hear it. Hands on my knees being I'm about it. Oh, okay. They'll figure that out. But anyway, yes. So, bring back body popping. Yes. Jeez, me Christmas River Run. How you doing? You know what I was watching the other day? I was watching Norbit. Oh, shit. Is it ready? Okay, never mind. I'll tell y'all my Norbit story maybe during the Ask Me Anything. Okay, yes, Tunde has a video clip. It's ready. So let's take a look at that.
Come on now. It wasn't even a dance. It wasn't even a dance. And y'all took that shit and ran with it. Got 900K views. It's giving Conquistador, Juan Ponce de Leon, Hernan Cortez. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's it. Oh. Yeah. And I think that hearing his response was important their response was important because yes, all the Ponce de Leon, that was all kinds of John Cook. That was all kinds of Henry Hudson. Yes, that was colonizing at its finest. Like, and just proof positive that listen, people want to shit on Black Americans, and listen, I'm not even going there with ADOS, and I know some of y'all are ADOS, and I'm not going to even do the ADOS thing because I have opinions, but I need more information. Let's just put it that way. But come on, man, Black America makes a lot of shit. Everybody be jocking our style. Everybody be jocking our style. Look at the little K-pop kids. Hey, that ain't nothing but New Edition. That ain't nothing. But the boys, Koreans, you feel me? So that's cool. Well, whatever. But even the most mundane thing, even a Black person like the Eric Lewis there, he was just fucking around. Not even be meant to be taken seriously in that moment. His message was meant to be taken seriously, but his movements were not meant to be taken seriously beyond the middle finger, right? And they grabbed it and was like, oh, that must be it. Stop. And I want to say I appreciate that white sister and brother at the very top of the segment that properly dragged some of their kinfolk as they needed to be dragged and shall continue to be dragged. But no, the incident that happened with Jimmy Fallon inviting that white TikToker on to show how to do the Black TikTok dances, the dragging that they received was actually very well deserved. So we need to do more of the dragging. And it's so difficult sometimes, I know, to be able to be on top of everything, like all the shit that you got to remember to angry tweet at people and companies to be like, no, this is bad. Why'd y'all do that? But it works, right? So even if you're not able to be out in the streets and show up at every action, I'm telling you, the impact that social media has, it is impactful and it does something. So use your social media voice for good, right? They are watching. The tweets is watching. Straight up. But anyway, guys, let's call this a show because I'm starting to get cotton mouth. And hold on, I see people had dropped us some coinage, and we appreciate that. River Run, I thank you so much. Oh man, I missed that other joint. It just went away. So much. My apologies, but you know whoever dropped it, we are deeply appreciative and grateful. So, what's up, Craig? $9.99. We take it. Thank you so much, Craig Bardo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Patreoners. Like I said, give me about 10-ish minutes. I'm gonna let the doggies out. I'm gonna get myself something to drink. Slightly try to compose myself. And we'll can commence the AMA for June coming up here in just a few short minutes. Go to Patreon for the link. But stay on YouTube for the chat. And if you have live questions, we'll take them on YouTube. If you already posted your question in another place, I will locate it and lead with those questions. So guys, I want to thank you all so much for another fun Friday. Burn It Down with Kim Brown solo sesh. Thank you all so much for your super chats. And thank you again, Black Magic, for your cash shoppery. We appreciate that. And like I said, follow us places around the internet. Guys, we are growing, slowly but surely. But, just keep the faith. As long as y'all keep showing up, this is wonderful. Also, guys, don't forget tonight, head back over to Black Power Media because we got some really excellent programming for your Friday night, including Dr. CBS with The Last Dope Intellectual. And I believe it's Renegade Culture that is tonight. So if you are supporting the Black Power Media family, which is indeed growing, which is very cool. Don't forget to head back over there as soon as we are done here. But if you're on Patreon, we will see you at tonight's AMA in about, let's say, I don't know, it's 6:15, 6:13 here. Let's how about 6:30? 6:30. That give me time to do shit and get comfortable. All right, y'all. Thank you again for an excellent show. I appreciate it. On behalf of Jean-Vieve, Mali, and Tunde, thank y'all for coming out. Love y'all very much. See y'all later. Bye-bye.